8.1. Adding and subtracting polynomials. Number 1 asks you to find the degree of the monomial. The degree of a monomial is going to be the sum of the exponents. So we have 9 and 7 as exponents on the variables. So we have 9 plus 7 is 16. So the degree is going to be 16. That's number 1. Number 2, it says find the degree of this term. The degree, since there's only one variable, is just going to be the exponent, which is 2. So the degree is 2 for number 2. Number 3, again, find the degree of the monomial. We add up the exponents and we'll get 8. So number 3 is 8. Now number 4 says find the degree of the given term. The degree of a constant is just going to be 0. So that is number 4. Number 5 says simplify the polynomial by combining like terms. When we do that, we simply add or subtract the numbers in front of the term with the variables that have the same letter and the same exponent. Same letter, same exponent. The coefficient here is 1, so 11 plus 1 is 12. So we have 12, and then we write the variable that's there, which is x to the squared. And that's number 5. Number 6, subtracting, we do the same thing. We just subtract the numbers in front, the coefficients. 8 minus 5 is 3, and then write the like terms, or the variables, which is m squared, so 3m squared for number 6. Number 7, it says write the polynomial in standard form. Then name the polynomial based on its degree and the number of terms. Standard form is writing it from the largest exponent down to the smallest. So I start with x squared minus 8x plus 3. So since the last term doesn't have a variable, that one goes last. So that's it in standard form. Now the polynomial, since it has the largest exponent being 2, that means it's going to be a quadratic. Okay, quadratic means exponent of 2. Remember, quadratics have a graph that's a parabola. If I graph this, it would be a parabola. Now we look at the number of terms that it has. That's the number of things being added or subtracted. We have 1, 2, 3 things. So that would be a trinomial. Tri means 3. And that's number 7. Number 8, again, we're rewriting this in standard form. Start with the largest exponent, or the term with the largest exponent, which is z to the 4. So you have 8z to the 4. Next one will be z squared, so minus 4z squared. Make sure you keep the correct sign with it. Minus 7z. And that's in standard form. Now this polynomial, the largest exponent is a 4, so that means it's going to be 4th degree. And 3 terms again, so it's going to be a trinomial. And that's number 8. Alright, number 9. It is asking you to simplify, and we are adding these. So let's take a closer look at it. Notice how these are being added to each other, and we have the like terms being over top each other, like the x squared terms here, the x term is here, and the constants are here. So you look at just each term, each pair of like terms separately. Looking at the x squared terms, we add them together. We add the numbers in front, so we'll get 7x squared. Now we look at the next one. Negative 6x plus 8x would just be 2x. 5 minus 8 would be negative 3. So your answer is going to be 7x squared plus 2x minus 3. So typing that in, 7x squared plus 2x minus 3. That's number 9. We do the same thing for number 10. Let's take a closer look at it. Alright, so we're adding the polynomials. So first thing we're going to do is I like to look at the largest exponent's term and start with that. Because I'm going to write it from the largest exponent down to the smallest. So my largest exponent's term is going to be the 3x to the third. So I'm going to write that in the front since I'm just adding all these. The next smallest one is going to be the 4x squared. So I'm going to write plus 4x squared after that. Now I'm going to look at my like terms, which is negative x or negative 8x and negative 9x. Add them up, I'll get negative 17x. And then I'll write that 3 I haven't touched at the end because that doesn't combine with anything. So my answer is going to be 3x to the third plus 4x squared minus 17x plus 3. So let's type that in. So we have 3x to the third plus 4x squared minus 17x plus 3. That's number 10. Line number 11, we are subtracting, so let's take a closer look at that. Alright, so noticing that we're subtracting these, there's a negative in front of the entire second set that we are subtracting. So that means I'm going to have to distribute the negative into them because I'm subtracting the whole thing. So I'm going to rewrite the top first because that's not changing. Now the bottom, when I distribute the negative, it'll be minus 5x squared minus 3x and plus 9. Signs all change. So now I'll add these down. So 2x squared plus negative 5x squared is going to be negative 3x squared. Negative 5x plus negative 3x is going to be negative 8x, and 8 plus 9 is 17. So that's going to be my answer. So typing that in, negative 3x squared minus 8x plus 17. And that's number 11. Number 12 is like number 11, where the entire second set's being subtracted. So let's take a closer look at it. Alright, so we're subtracting, so notice the negative here. I will distribute this negative into each term. So rewriting it, this I'll just rewrite normally. This will become negative 6x squared plus 4x minus 7. Now I take a look at my like terms, which is negative 3 and negative 7. Combine them, I'll get negative 10. Writing this in order, I'll have 5x to the fourth plus 5x to the third minus 6x squared plus 4x minus 10. So let's type that in. That in, we have 5x to the fourth plus 5x to the third minus 6x squared plus 4x minus 10. Alright, so let's take a look at number 13. It says the perimeter of a triangular park shown on the right is 16x plus 3, and we're looking for the missing length. So let's take a closer look at it. Okay, so we know perimeter is a distance all the way around. We're looking for this missing side. We are given the entire length around is 16x plus 3. So what we need to do, add up the two sides that are there and subtract it from the perimeter to find the missing length. So first, adding up the two sides we have 2x plus 5 plus 5x minus 1. We get 7x plus 4. Now we'll subtract 16x plus 3 and 7x plus 4. When we subtract the entire thing, we have to change the signs. So we have negative x, or negative 7x minus 4. Now 16x minus 7x is 9x. 3 plus negative 4 is negative 1. So that's going to be your answer. Number 14, we are simplifying, so we simply add down the like terms. So 4x squared plus 4x squared is 8x squared. Negative 6x plus 8x is positive 2x. And 8 plus negative 10 is negative 2. So your answer is going to be 8x squared plus 2x minus 2. And that's number 14. Number 15, it says to add the polynomials. We will take a closer look at that. So the first thing I notice is that there is a plus here, but then also that there is only one pair of like terms, negative 4x and negative 7x. Everything else can't be combined with something else, so I just rewrite it. So starting with the one with the largest exponent, 7x3, I write that down. Then I add the 6x squared, which is the next smallest term. Now I compare and combine my like terms, which is negative 4x plus negative 7x, which is negative 11x. And then the last term not touched yet is the 6. There's nothing to combine it to, so put plus 6 at the end. And this is my answer. My answer, I have 7x to the third plus 6x squared minus 11x plus 6. That's number 15. Number 16, it says to use the vertical format to subtract the polynomials. So let's take a closer look at it. So since we're subtracting the entire second polynomial, we have to change all the signs. So rewrite the first one.
the bottom will have negative x squared, negative 7x, and plus 1. 2x squared plus negative 8x squared is negative 6x squared. Negative 7x plus negative 7x is negative 14x. And 5 plus 1 is 6. So that will be our answer. Typing it in, we have negative 6x squared minus 14x plus 6. That's number 16. Number 17 is asking you to subtract these two polynomials, so let's take a closer look at it. So what we need to do first is rewrite everything here and then distribute the negative into each term in the second polynomial. So doing that changes all the signs of the second polynomial. Then we combine our like terms, which are negative 8 and negative 5, so rewrite the rest of it. And combine the like terms, you have negative 8 plus negative 5, which is negative 13. And that's our answer. Typing that in, we have 2x to the fourth plus 6x to the third minus 6x squared plus 7x minus 13. That's number 17.